Hey guys, what's going on? Eric here. It's been a while since I've done my last pickup video. I hope you all like this one. I got a bunch of PlayStation 2 stuff, a lot of PlayStation 2 stuff. I think I have between 20 and 30 PS2 games here. So we're going to get right into it. A lot of stuff's happened over the last about a week or two. My 100 subscriber contest had just ended. Sarah had to go up to the hospital to get a very routine surgery done. She's doing just fine now. I got my cats that are rooting around back here because I had the door closed to my room here, and they were being ridiculous, so I let them in. So we're just gonna get right into it because I've got games and I'd like to show you. So I'm gonna say right now, if you are not a fan of sport games, you're probably not going to like this because I have a lot of sports games. I think sports games get a very, very bad reputation. The only time that sports games bothers me is when I'm at a garage sale and I'll have someone trying to sell me like NASCAR 2007 and they're trying to sell it to me for what it came out at like 2006. And that's when it gets frustrating, especially on Craigslist, because people will see those old Nintendo 64 games like Madden 99, and they're like, well, this is an instant classic, I couldn't let this go for anything less than $25. And I always tell people, go look on eBay for the prices, but understand that these are sports games. I think only 1% of sports games are actually worth something, and that's across the entire board. Not just Nintendo 64, I'm talking like from Atari all the way up to current. I think only 1% of games are actually 1% of sports games are actually worth like more than like ridiculous amounts. I'm thinking of like International Soccer Organization for N64, NCAA 2003 for the GameCube. What, Samson? Anyway, so we're gonna get into it. There was a store that had an amazing deal on sports games. Buy one, get 3 free. I definitely took advantage of this. So without further ado, just going to kind of get right into it. We have MVP Baseball 2005. The MVP series, I gotta say, is very enjoyable baseball series. The GameCube version I do think is a little bit better. Fight Night 2004, one of my most favorite boxing franchises of all time. Punch Out and Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing are the only 3 in that I would actually consider good. I tried Face Breakers, I just wasn't having it. Fight Night Round 2, which was better than 04. And Fight Night Round 3, which I thought was the best one out of them all. I played 4 and I played Champions on 360. I thought they were okay. I didn't really feel like they really stepped it up. They just kind of made it wider as far as like playability, but not in a good way, if that makes any sense. I think it was just I know in Champions it felt longer, unnecessarily longer, and very boring. At least with 3 the challenge existed because every time you fought someone you actually felt the challenge, and there's actually a mode where you get to fight Muhammad Ali, and I would purposely create someone the scrawniest, shortest person imaginable, and I would like tape it. I used to tape it on an old VHS, and I would be like, this is the true Rocky movie we're all waiting to see. Like, there's some 5-foot guy trying to take on like Muhammad Ali in his prime, and it was hilarious. So definitely good memories there. Arena Football. Or when I first got this game, I could not believe how into it I got. It's just straight up 8 versus 8 Iron Man football with one of the best soundtracks I have ever heard in a sports game, period. Like, the amount of good rock and hard rock and even metal on this game is unreal. So this was only like, it was marketed, even if it's not on sale, it was only marketed at $2. I do intend on getting Road to Glory. I think that was only like a $5 sports game, but this franchise was amazing. And you can also make your own arena team too. And if you haven't seen Arena Football, then I recommend looking it up because it's pretty cool. It's just like a 50, 60-yard field, and you have only 4 downs to get a touchdown. Otherwise, you're kicking the ball no matter what. The rest here are Madden games to kind of fill out my collection because I don't have any Madden in the PS2 collection, which is a crying shame. Grew up playing Madden. My brother was a huge Madden fan. And I felt bad not having any Madden games because the playability on the PS2 versions are so cool. I think once it got... PS3 does have that playability, I know that. Xbox doesn't. It feels a little slower. It's gotten better, but it felt really slow. So... Madden 2005, the collector's edition. I never see this edition, and it has like the photocopy John Madden, a signature on the back. I never see this. I always see the other one. I never see this. 2005 was a good year for sports games. Let's put it that way. Madden 2006, which was I thought had a better running mechanic. 2007, I felt had a better passing mechanic. 2008, I don't remember that one too well. I do know that it started doing more like bonus features, the practice camps. Madden 2009, I love the scenario mode they had. It was either in this or in 2010, but again, it did a really good fantasy challenge mode. This was really good, and of course the curse of Madden's curse. Of course, that was the year Brett Favre got. I think that was the year. Was it 2008? Yeah, 2008 was the year he got injured, I think, at the last game on the last play when he was playing for the Jets. And then Madden 11, which was also pretty good. Nothing too much to say about this. I know this one was really good for customizing moves. The fantasy stadiums I felt were the best thing. Fantasy stadiums are always really cool. If you don't know what that is, I know there's, and I think it's 2005 or 2006, if you have like an elite team, there's like the stadium in the sky or something, and you're basically playing in what equivalates as heaven, and you're playing against a team that can kick 99-yard field goals. So, Madden series, really good. If you're not into it, get it. I was just double checking this. It felt really light for some reason. Alright. And then I stopped at a garage sale on the way home on Route 11. CNS was having a garage sale, and these girls were selling PlayStation 2 games at $1 a piece. I went through the box. Nothing that really caught my eye. A lot of NASCAR. Racing games are cool, but NASCAR games, I'm sorry, they're just a little boring. And if you're not playing on that giant arcade game, you're going to get bored really fast. So for $1 each, I got Looney Tunes Space Race, which is basically Mario Kart with Looney Tunes characters. I thought that was pretty cool. SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. I have 7 and 8. Yep, 7 and 8. I don't have 9, so that was pretty cool. And SSX3, the non-player's choice, which is pretty awesome. Probably my favorite out of that whole series, the third one. That just everything about it was better. Here was another part of that deal I was telling you about, where the sports games at the beginning were buy one, get 3 free. I think 1 or 2 in there I gotten somewhere else, but it doesn't matter. So, the other PlayStation 2 games are buy 2, get 3 free. So, we went through the store. My wife had just picked up one game, and I was like, whatever, we'll get it. And that game was CMT Presents Karaoke Revolution Country, which is basically a country karaoke game. These are actually pretty fun. I'm not a country fan at all. I don't know anything about country songs. I've played the Country Rock Band pack, which is actually pretty fun. If you're looking for a challenge and you like those games, play that one. You'll be very surprised at how challenging it is, because that style of guitar playing is really different. Castlevania Lament of Innocence. Fatal Fury Battle Archives Volume 1, which has Fatal Fury 2, Fatal Fury 3, and Fatal Fury... It has 1, 2, Fatal Fury Special, Fatal Fury 3, Road to the Final Victory. That's a lot. Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. And Ratchet Deadlocked. I believe I'm only missing a couple of those Ratchet and Clank games. I think the first one, and that's just because it's the most expensive for some reason, it's still averaging $10. but everyone keeps telling me it's an amazing series. Then we go to the new Goodwill that opened up near my house a couple months ago. Got these for a couple bucks a piece. Again, everything here I don't own. These are all games I don't already own. So Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec, the non-player's choice edition. I was looking for a non-player's choice. I just like the way they look, honestly. Pretty good game, actually. If you like the Gran Turismo series, I do. I don't like Forza, but I like Gran Turismo. Kengo, Master of Bushido. I never see this anywhere. It looks like a Soul Calibur type one-on-one fighter game. It looks really cool. Almost early 360 style as far as graphics are concerned, but it looks pretty cool. And City Crisis, which caught my eye because it doesn't have a label on the spine. I don't know why. The cover itself is legit. It wasn't photocopied or anything, but no, this is pretty legit. Anyone have any info on that, I'd be appreciated. You pilot a helicopter and you have to rescue people through towering infernos, deadly chemical blazes, and natural disasters, and you have to rescue their survivors, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like Crazy Taxi, except instead of, driving like a maniac, you have to actually like drive a helicopter and rescue people who are stranded on like this burning tower. It's pretty cool, actually. I recommend that if you're into something different. And then just this past weekend, stopped at a local thrifty shopper, which I'm becoming very well known there for. I'm always finding decent stuff there. I did find a PlayStation 1 screen, the PS1 screen that you can plug into the second model PlayStation, and it was a third-party company, but it was in the box, and I almost got it. I opened it up. It was still wrapped up, still the styrofoam. Everything was still tied up, but the screen had a huge crack in it, so I passed. But I did get a couple of games, which I ended up saving money on. They were originally being charged for over $3 a piece, but I got them for $2 a piece, so I ended up paying $4. And I got My Sims Sky Heroes for the Xbox 360. Just looks like your typical create a plane, customize your plane, race, battle. It's basically a Sims dogfighter, which for kids, but it looked kind of fun. This one I never see. Win Back Covert Operations, which is kind of like Metal Gear Solid, almost like hints of Tom Clancy games. Really, really cool. If you like any of the 007 games, you'll definitely get a kick out of this. I realize that this game actually goes, I was told it goes between 10 and 20 bucks. I don't normally get games because oh, they're worth a pretty penny and I'm going to sell them back for a ton of money. The sticker's driving me nuts. But, come on, stop fighting with me. I might have to switch out the box. But very rarely will I do that. I think the only time I ever did that, it was an extra copy of Super Mario 64. I'll take care of that later. It was an extra copy of Super Mario 64, and I bought it for, what was it, after tax it came to like $3.50. And I turned around and I sold it to someone for a really good price. At the time, it was still being sold for $25. I sold it to a friend of mine for about 15 bucks. He originally was going to pay 20 for it. He's like, I don't want to pay over 20. Sometimes Super Mario 64 here can go over 30. I used to go over 25 to 30. He said he would go 20 because we've known each other for a while and he wanted to do me a good solid. And I said, well, we'll just do 15 and we'll call it that. So I don't normally go and do that, but if it's an extra and it has some value behind it, I know it'll be good trade bait. So Win Back if anyone's looking for it. So wrapping this up, got only 2 more things. Also at that same thrifty shopper, I got this super awesome Pokemon Game Boy case, and I'm assuming it was to go for the Pokemon yellow version of the Game Boy. The Pikachu edition, I believe it was a teal or blue Game Boy color that had Pikachu on the outside frame. And it also has a zipper right here to put in your copy of Pokemon whatever. That's the new one, Pokemon whatever. 9 million Pokemon. Can you catch them all? Got that for $1. And to wrap it all up, guys, a fellow buddy of mine, a fellow YouTuber, G Unit Kolima. He heard my cries of desperation, and he said, "You know what, man? I have something extra I'm gonna give you because you're awesome, and I think you should have it." And that was, he gave me a Super Nintendo console, which will be the very first Super Nintendo console I have ever owned legit. I used to rent them from the video store. I had an FC Twin, but that does not count because it doesn't have that ejection button on it, and it's really flimsy. But guys, my very first Super Nintendo console, he threw in everything for it. I think the only thing he said it needed was a power cord, which at the most I'll end up paying $10 for. But he threw in 2 controllers, the AV adapter. I'll probably end up getting the RC cable to go with it, but what a guy. He just threw that in for free. He's just that cool. So guys, yeah, a lot of PS2 stuff here. Super awesome free SNES, guys. I have some more awesome stuff coming in the mail. That shelf behind me is about to get a little bit bigger. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks again, because this is going to be coming out after I announce who wins the 100 subscriber contest. Thanks again for those of you who did enter. We had over 30 people. I had over 30 people sign up for the contest. It was awesome. I would have talked more about it in that video. So just yeah. Thanks again, guys, for everything. Thanks again so much for your support. And until next time, I will see you all later.